And we are live on YouTube. Now we're going to try to go live on Facebook. Give us 1 second. And Facebook is giving us a little bit of trouble. Let's see. Everything's good here. They don't want us to use podcasts, so we go default. See if that works. And we are live on YouTube and Facebook. And so we have another exciting podcast today, Sunday, October the 18th, 2020. Still, I am Dr. Mike Van Thielen. For my credentials, my books, my free podcast library, and my free resource page, visit mikevantheelen.com or easier, mvtonline.com. Today, we are going to talk about EMF, electromagnetic frequencies, or EMR, electromagnetic radiation. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and yes, the ugly. We're going to have a brief overview on oxidative stress-mediated cellular damage, and also the role of exogenous antioxidants, basically as a functional tool to manage human diseases. And for all that, we got two experts with us. We have our regular guest, Dr. Greg Carter, and he brought an amazing doctor with us today, Dr. Rao Emandi. And I'll introduce Dr. Emandi to you here because he is a radiation oncologist. He actually trained and worked at the world-renowned Mount Sinai Hospital in New York City. He also published articles on cancer. He was a founding member and a chairman of WellCare HMO, which was founded or established in Florida. It was sold in 1992, and right now, I believe it's worth about $14 billion. Yes. All right, we need to talk.
Billion
dollars, right. Dr. Emandi is also a founding member of several medical diagnostic and cancer centers all around. He served as the president of Pasco Cancer Association and Pasco Medical Society, and he has received numerous awards from various organizations for his involvement in the local communities. So welcome, Dr. Rao. So why don't you get started and take it off here with us on this great podcast today.
Thank you, Mike. It's a great pleasure to participate with you, especially on electromagnetic radiation. Being a radiation oncologist, as you know, I have to start with my radiation. Everybody knows, in 1895, Röntgen discovered the X-rays, and then in 1898, Madame Curie discovered radium. Afterwards, radioisotopes all came into existence. Then at the same time, everybody knows Albert Einstein, relative theory, time and space, that is a very well known, E equal to mc square. Okay, that's where the space has come into existence to know much more about. As you know, the sun is the main star around which all Earth and all the stars rotate. And the Earth rotates the speed of 76,000 miles per hour, and it rotates and goes around the sun in 1 year. So at the same time, the sun has a superpower of hydrogen and helium, which produces a more extraordinary amount of radiation. That is the radiation we are getting to the earth, but in a different form, which we will go through all the different forms. So that's how of course, radiation also, I would mention, radiation in small amounts long exposure creates cancer. But radiation itself, we treat the patients with by treating radiation by the X-rays, gamma rays, and
Sure.
photons. So it has a double role. So now we are going to go ahead with the mainly starting with the basic electromagnetic radiation.
So that's a great introduction, because what I picked up personally is you said some radiation is low dose,
Yeah.
but over long term it accumulates and still can be harmful.
That's correct.
You know, so I'm always thinking about those radiation things when you go through the airport. Should you avoid those, even though it says it's low dose?
Of course, we can't take it. We can't stop those things because we have to, as a daily routine life, we have to face it. So there's no way we can stop.
We can't avoid it, but sometimes we can minimize it, especially at the airport. I always go for the little pet down. It's a free massage anyways, if you have time, right? All right, let's get started. So for our viewers, can you explain what EMF or EMR is?
Yeah, EMF or electromagnetic radiation, or they are the waves, electromagnetic field, so-called EMF, radiating through the space. As I mentioned, sun release such an energy. So electromagnetic radiation energy, those includes radio waves, microwaves, X-rays, sunlight, and each of these different physiological effect on the body. Some are harmful, some helpful. For example, cell phone, 5G radiation, harmful. Radiation oncology, as I mentioned previously, is when we treat radiation for all these cancers. So that's where it's helpful. Okay. Electromagnetic waves, cell phone 5G towers expand in sphere, and the EMF radiates spherically. You can't escape it.
You can't escape it. So are you telling me that we as humans, we're always surrounded by this EMF?
Yes, always surrounded. The way we can take care by the electromagnetic waves. Some are harmful, as I said, like cell phones, 5G towers, microwaves are saturating our body in 24 hours a day. With potentially harmful radiation, EMF interacts with our body and exerting force, influence, effect on them. Some are helpful and some are harmful, as I mentioned.
Can I interject here?
Yeah.
Earlier, Dr. Armandi, you stated that radiation expands spherically, and I think that it's a well-known precept in physics for all you flat earthers. The universe is busy creating spheres.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Don. Continue.
Yeah.
So why does this EMF matter? And it's important too, because it's invisible, right? We can't see it. So a lot of people think it's not harmful.
Yes.
So explain to us why this EMF matters.
Yeah, because it is important. Electromagnetic waves are different frequency, have different titles because they are different origins. Therefore, they can potentially damage human tissue. The growing body of science believes exposure of EMF causes oxidative stress and cellular damage. According to the CDC guidelines, humans exposed to high electromagnetic fields have an increased cancer rate.
I think that this is an important point.
Yeah.
Okay. As we stated earlier, there are helpful and harmful electromagnetic fields. The harmful electromagnetic fields have definitely been implicated in oncogenic or cancer activity in the body. Would you agree with that, Dr. Armandi?
Yes.
And again, this is science, and the CDC also, gives this message that those certain types of radiation are harmful to the human body.
That's correct.
Even though they're invincible. So there's no argument. Let's put it that way. All righty. Now, what factors influence that EMF when it comes to damaging the body?
Okay. Mainly the reasons are the exposure and the frequency and intensity, distance and duration and shielding. These are
Okay.
the various factors. The explosion, compact portable electrons devices such as laptops, tablets, cell phones, and 5G towers. Close contact and extended usage of the devices, such as increasing levels of radiation by EMF, just like a cell phone.
Yeah.
You always keep it touches the body. They cause bioelectrical interference to normal biological function, build up unwanted voltage in the body, prolonged abnormal voltage of greater than 0.5 volts in the body has been implicated in prolonged exposure causes cellular and DNA damage.
If I could interject again, Dr. Armand,
Yeah.
I think that it's important to focus on the fact that exposure to these very necessary electronic devices that I'm unwilling to give up, like my cell phone
Yeah.
and my laptop,
Yeah.
prolonged exposure in the absence of some type of detoxification mechanism has been shown to increase an abnormal voltage in the body. And an abnormal voltage of greater than 0.5 volts, has been shown to lead to DNA damage. Okay? Because remember, our DNA is not a life sentence.
Yeah.
It's what affects our DNA that causes the manifestation or the phenotype.
Yeah.
Good. So to interject here, this is great stuff. A question. So we always are surrounded with the EMF. My cell phone is giving me that radiation that is harmful.
Okay.
And like Dr. Carter said, we're not going to give up our cell phone. But let's assume I give up my cell phone, but I'm surrounded with people that use their cell phone. Do I still get the radiation? Does it still?
Of course.
If I'm standing between you guys and you call each other, it goes through me.
Still, you get the
So it still get the radiation.
Yes.
I'm
Right.
dense, Mike, but that's only used in relation to my intelligence.
Okay, that's so that's how you're dense, but the frequency goes straight through him. All right. So what we're gonna do is I hope at the end is find out is we want to keep our devices. So how can we protect ourselves,
Yeah.
or how can we minimize the damaging effect, either with some kind of, like we talked, exogenous antioxidants, or how do we shield ourselves somehow from this harmful radiation?
Yeah, that
Excellent.
will be going through in the back.
Yes. So before we get there, how does this radiation, how does it cause this oxidative stress on a cellular level?
Yeah. See, on the cellular level, EMF causes radiation from all the electronic devices. Okay, they enter the cell, then free radicals are generated. Antioxidative mechanism try to regulate free radicals, that is antioxidants, to protect the cell, but too much of oxidative stress is generated, leading to disease. Sometimes cellular membrane becomes compromised and the EMF then enters the nucleus, damage DNA. And in other words, EMF breaks DNA strands, which damage cell and lead cancerous tumors. The Journal of Carcinogenesis, our oncology journal, states oxidative damage to cellular DNA can lead to mutations. Mutations, as you know, mutations can progress onto the carcinogenesis. Elevated free radicals are associated with human disease, including various types of cancers.
Yep. So we're talking about free radicals now, and I'm sure most of our listeners have heard the term free radical. But for those who really don't know what it is, can you explain simply what a free radical really is?
Free radicals are in the body, any molecular species capable of independent existence that contains in the body, they are called unpaired electrons. In an atomic orbit, is a free radical, is unstable and highly reactive. Because it is unstable, therefore they are harmful.
So, yeah, go ahead, Doctor.
I'd like to add here. So, as the universe is busy creating spheres, Don,
Yes,
okay, there's electron shells, and those shells should exhibit a quality of stability, enabling them to interact with one another appropriately. When an electron is stripped from the outer shell,
yeah,
it causes an abnormal state in the electron,
yes,
an instability, and that instability bounces around the body like an out of control ping pong ball, damaging other tissue. Eventually, as Dr. Amandi stated earlier, this EMF radiation that I adore seeps into the cell through the nuclear membrane into the nucleus and actually damages DNA.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we haven't figured out how to make X-Men yet, but we're working on it.
That's what I was going to say. So I wanted to simplify it too. So you have a healthy atom basically,
Yes.
and its toxins are EMF that steal that electron, and now it's not healthy anymore. It becomes unstable and wreaks havoc. And those unstable atoms are called free radicals.
yes, that's
Yes.
correct.
So where do those free radicals come from? We explained how, but what generates those?
It's free radicals are produced in our body daily, a normal healthy metabolism when it occurs. And free radicals also can be exogenous origin. Okay. And in pathological states, that is various diseases, it can produce free radicals.
So we get free radicals from the environment or from our food, etc. But as part of living, our body produces those as byproducts.
Yes, that's correct.
So then the question becomes, is our goal to eliminate all of those free radicals?
But we can't eliminate exactly, but try to, the antioxidant neutralizes those things,
I'm like, so if I could, one of the things that I was confused about early on in my career was we were deluged with a tsunami of information that stated all free radicals are bad,
And they're
all
not.
antioxidants are good, take as many antioxidants as you can, get rid of many free radicals, get rid of as many free radicals as you can.
No good.
That actually is completely wrong.
Yeah.
Shocking that we got incorrect information early on. See lipid
Shocking.
hypothesis. Okay. The reality is that during normal metabolic sequence, free radicals are a component of an appropriate, healthy, functioning metabolism.
An
Yes.
immune system
Yes.
too. They're
An
scavengers.
immune system.
They help with viruses and bacteria, right? Invaders.
Yes. So, Dr. Amandi, would you say that a balance of free radicals and antioxidants is appropriate for necessary?
Yes, I think
metabolism?
that is how the body actually requires for the physiological function, the balance between these two.
I want it pointed out, you heard it here first. The $14 billion man said, you need them.
You need them. So these free radicals, they're causing oxidative stress.
Yes.
And once we have oxidative stress in our body, what actually happens then?